What's up, everybody? Welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's a very snowy Tuesday afternoon here in Findlay, Ohio, and I'm hanging out in the garage getting ready to have a beer. Hopefully this is my last day recording in the garage, so I'm not sure this environment is the best, but in desperate times you do what you gotta do. So, the beer that I'm going to review today is Yuengling Flight. Yuengling's probably a brewery most of you are familiar with. Yuengling kind of holds a special place in my heart, if you will. When I was in college, undergrad, Yuengling was our go-to beer. We used to drink Yuengling Premium all the time. I know lager has become immensely popular, but you don't really see the premium too much. But that used to be something we drank a lot. Back in those days, Yuengling had a few different beers going around. They had Yuengling Lager, Yuengling Premium, they had Black and Tan, they had a Porter, and then they had the Lord Chesterfield's Ale. Never really saw that one too frequently, but you know, I've had it over the years. I think it's an alright beer. Now they do a bit more, obviously, seasonals. When I went to the website today, they had the Hershey's Porter listed, which is pretty solid. If you haven't had that, it's worth giving it a shot. I saw Hillbilly's Beer Reviews basically did one where he mixed it with ice cream and all and made like a float out of it. It looked delicious. And then they also had the Oktoberfest. Their Oktoberfest is all right. It's not the best one in the world, but it's solid. It's drinkable. I know they've done other stuff in the past, so interesting to see what they continue to bring out. Given the fact that they're from 1829, it's the oldest American brewery. It's kind of cool to see them continue to develop. You know, even in the 20-some years maybe that I've been drinking it, they've grown exponentially. Initially, when I lived in Philadelphia, you couldn't even find Yuengling in Philly, and it's from Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Then, you know, I moved to Florida. They opened up a facility in Tampa. They started having beer down there. I'm in Ohio. I think in the last couple of years, it hasn't been that long they've been in Ohio, but you can get it in Ohio, and they're continuing to expand. Is it the best beer in the world? No. I mean, it's kind of, you know, on the verge of, I guess it's macro, but it's decent. It's drinkable. It's not, I would prefer it to Bud, Coors, Miller, any of those products. So, that being said, the beer that we have today is Flight, and this is one of the low-carb options. Generally speaking, I wouldn't drink a beer like this, and I would save it for a WTF Wednesday. But I went to the doctor recently, and he told me I need to get myself together. Should probably watch what I'm eating and drinking and all those things, so I'm starting a little bit of a mild health regime. I'm not going to go overboard. But it's probably best I don't drink 8% stouts every single night. So maybe I'll try something like this out. I know it appeals to a lot of the folks that are on you know, the keto diets and things like this, people with health issues that might want to have a beer here and there but can't really drink higher alcohol content beers. Maybe this is an option. You know, over the years I've had a few. I've had the Mick Ultras and these types of beers. You know, I never really thought they were great. Never gave them much thought other than they were a new check-in for Untapped. So this week, the rest of the week, I'm probably going to focus on a couple of the lower ABV beers, just kind of see what's out there. It is a section of the beer industry that obviously is going to grow. So let's see what these are like. This is, again, Yuengling Flight, 2.6 grams of carbs, 95 calories, and 4.2 ABV. None of them seem to be working there really great. You can tell from the color, it looks kind of clear yellow, nice twist cap. You know, I really don't have stunningly high expectations for this beer, but we'll see what it is. Let's try to give it a vigorous pour, give it an attempt to at least have some kind of head. A little bit there. Obviously kind of pours that clear golden color we kind of expect. Fair amount of carbonation, fairly effervescent. I'm actually surprised that the head's lingering around as much as it did. Looks kind of thin. It's not particularly frothy or inviting, but it's still there, so that's something, I guess. Smell, kind of light grain, light cereal grain, and a bit of the corn sweetness as well that you'd expect with these types of beers. First thing that hits me, the body is really thin. Now, you know, I mean, I guess with the low carbs and low calories and all that stuff, kind of to be expected. Thin, verging on watery. Taste, honestly, it's not as sweet as I expected it to be. I thought it'd be kind of that overpowering corn sweetness. because it kind of smells like that. And you definitely pick it up. You can taste the corn sweetness, but there's a little bit more to it than that. You probably get some light malt, like the cereal grain malt kind of thing going on. Nothing too flavorful. Hops, basically non-existent. I can't say I really taste the hops at all. Overall, this is a drinkable beer, a crushable beer. You could probably drink 500 of these. I don't know what would happen other than you pee 500 times. But it is quite watery, quite low ABV. Not what I'm generally used to. But I guess, when you do these beer review shows, some of the questions are, asked about how do you rate beers. And one thing is, you can either rate them on whether you like them or don't. You can rate them based on their style. Are they true to the style? So for example, something like a barley wine. My most hated kind of beer is barley wine. I absolutely hate it. Don't drink it unless I have to. It could be a really good world-class barley wine. I just don't like it. And then the question kind of comes up, how do you rate this? Is it a bad beer? Not necessarily. It's just something I don't dig. So for this Yuengling Flight, if you asked me a week ago if I would have drank this beer again, the answer would have been decidedly no. I wouldn't have drank this again. Not because it's particularly bad. It's fairly inoffensive. Doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of taste one way or another. Not a lot going on with it. No, I wouldn't have drank this. You ask me now, maybe I would. If you're someone like me, where the doc said maybe you need to be careful, watch the calories, watch the carbs, watch all these things, and I was given the option between this and some of the products from the other mainstream breweries, Miller, Bud, those folks, I don't know. I don't think this is that bad. I think I would drink another one. It's sad to say I've gotten to this point, but yes, I would drink another one. Yuengling Flight, you begrudgingly get the thumbs up. I would have another. If you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up, give me a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. If you want to discuss this beer, if you've had it, you think it's great, you think it sucks, let me know. Jump in on the comments, let me know what you think about it. And as always, until next time, cheers.